Okay, guys, hey, what's up? This is me once again. I just want to make another quick rant video on my frustration with TNA. The reason why I didn't want to say what I said in the first video is because I don't want to make the first video too long. Because if the video is too long, then most people won't sit through the whole thing and want to watch it. So, I just want to make this really quick, quick few points of my frustration with TNA. And one of them is that they just talk way too much. I mean, if your slogan is wrestling matters, I can't tell, because clearly you're not living by or standing by what your company is advertising, and that's professional wrestling. It seems like to me your new slogan should be talking matters, not wrestling matters, because TNA just they cut too much talking, so many promos all in the one show, in a 2-hour show. You don't get any wrestling. You know, a lot of people, rightly complain about WWE Raw, how Raw does a lot of talking. Or how should I say this? You give people, I've heard a lot of people that complain and talk about Monday Night Raw, and now Raw does a lot of talking, and they do too much talking and not enough wrestling. But you have to understand two things. One, Raw is more of the storytelling, drama type of show from WWE. SmackDown is where you get more of your wrestling and less promos and talking and all that other stuff. But another reason why I think a lot of people don't complain that much about Raw talking too much compared to, say, like, TNA Impact, is that WWE, they know how to, what's the word I'm trying to look for? They know how to book a show. You know what I mean? So, like, WWE is like, they'll open up the show, they'll open up Raw, just speak of Raw. They'll open up Raw with, say, like a 10-minute promo. Then after that, they go on commercial, come back, say they have like a tag team match. Then they have a backstage segment. Then commercial, come back, Divas match. Then they may shoot a promotion commercial for their next pay-per-view. Commercial, come back, and then they have the main event, or it might be another, contract signing or whatever. That's how WWE show is. With TNA, it's like 30-minute promo with with 5 or 6 guys over their prime and in their 50s, and half of these guys don't wrestle anymore and some shouldn't. So you have a 30-minute promo with all these guys. Then you got a promo, commercial, come back, backstage segment, commercial, come back, a 2-minute squash match, commercial, come back, another backstage segment, commercial, come back, Ric Flair going woo in the ring, commercial, come back, you have your 6-minute main event match, commercial, come back, and they end the show with another 10, 20-minute promo. So you look at how TNA books their show, and then WWE books their show. WWE doesn't do a lot of talking, and I think that's because that's the way they direct and make the show, and how they have it booked and how they have it planned out. Where, we're going to open the show with a match first. We're going to open up the show with, promo. However they do it, the booking is much better. And with TNA, it's like, holy crap, like, you got all this talking, like, where's the wrestling? Like, you have a 2-minute knockout squash match, and then you have a 6-minute match between AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels, and the match gets interrupted. It's not even a clean finish. But the rest of the show is just full of talking and backstage segments. I don't understand that. That's very frustrating to me. And that's one of the big things that pissed me off the most with TNA. And I think that's the problem with TNA, is that they try to cram too much stuff within a 2-hour show. You just can't do it. You're not going to do it. Rome wasn't built in a day. God didn't make the entire world within the day, although I'm sure he could have, but if you look in the Bible, he made the world within 7 days. Like I said, Rome wasn't built in a day. You can't put 10 or 20 stories and try to fit it into a 2-hour show. You just can't do it. It's impossible. You can't do that. You have to spread it out. This week, you focus on AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. The next week, you focus on Kurt Angle and Crimson. The week after that, you focus on somebody else. you spread it out. You don't try to cram everything into a 2-hour show, because if you do that, then there's going to be so much talking, no one's going to be interested, because it's like, okay, like, they've lost interest now. So like, okay, well, we've got to the storytelling. Now, when are we going to get to the fight? You know what I mean? And I think that's the problem with TNA. They try to squeeze too much into a 2-hour show. And that's another reason why I think TNA, it really takes a lot of time, you know, not only for matches but for a lot of guys. Another thing I don't like within TNA, and like I said, WWE's been guilty of this as well, but I'm speaking for TNA, that's what this video is for, is that a lot of their matches are not only too short, like 2 or 3 minute squash matches, but they're also, a lot of matches they don't get clean finishes. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe I'm too traditional, too old school. You know, it's okay. You know, if you have a match and on a disqualification, or you know, someone interrupts the match or something like that. But you know, when you keep pulling bull crap like that all the time, it's like it doesn't make it that special. You know what I mean? It's like whatever happens to a straight, just clean finish, a straight clean match with no interruptions, no screwy finish to it. I mean, whatever happened to that? I mean, clearly those days must be gone, because TNA ain't doing it whatsoever. I mean, literally, there's not many matches in TNA that you'll see where someone gets counted out, someone gets disqualified, someone comes in and beats up one of the competitors, or hits the referee, or beats up the referee and knocks him down, and then takes a chair and hits the opponent in the head and get the win. Like, I think that's the problem with they overhaul screw finishes just too much for my taste, for my opinion. Because I think screw jobs, interruptions, those should be on certain occasions. It should be like a little special treat. You know what I mean? It's like they always say, you know, too much of a good thing can be bad for you. You know what I mean? Candy tastes good, and candy is sweet, but you eat too much candy, you know, it's gonna hurt the kid's stomach. If a kid eats too much candy, or you're gonna get, you know, cavities in your teeth. So you can't eat a whole bunch of sweets. And that's the same thing. I think that's the problem with TNA, is that they do too many screw jobs and too many, you know, interruptions in a lot of these matches, to where like it takes the quality away from the match, and it doesn't make the match special, and it makes people less interested, because it's like, okay, when is somebody gonna play fair? You know, when are you guys gonna, you know, play fair, play right, you know, and stop being so, you know, having these screw job finishes. And like I said, that's another problem I really have with TNA. Another problem I have with TNA is how they really just unutilize a lot of good talent that they have. I made it in my last video, but I just mentioned it briefly, of how one of the biggest talents I think that they really don't use the most, in which they should, is Samoa Joe. You know, Samoa Joe's won lots of titles. He's been in the main event spot, you know, with guys like Angle and Booker T and Sting and Styles. But since Bischoff and Hogan have came, Joe's reached the bottom of the barrel. Like, for anybody who's watching TNA now, you'd be like, you probably think Samoa Joe is just a security guard or a janitor, because he's not an on-screen talent, and I think that's a shame. And, you know, another guy who I'm starting to see that I don't know if maybe he's injured or not, but a guy that hopefully they'll do something with him, but I haven't seen him in, like, you know, 2 months pretty much, and that's Frankie Kazarian. I haven't seen freaking Kazarian since the Destination X pay-per-view, and that was like back in June? No, July. That was back in July. That was like the first week of July, and I haven't seen him since that pay-per-view. And it's like, okay, are you starting to screw up on freaking Kazarian too? Because he's another great talent who I think deserves some TV time. And another guy who I think they really unutilize a lot is Eric Young. You know, I like Eric Young. I think Eric Young is, in my opinion, I think he's a way funny on-screen character than Santino. I never thought Santino Marella was funny to me. I find Santino to be annoying. And the way he purposely mispronounced wrestlers' names, I never found to be funny. I always found this character to be very annoying. His whole gimmick is just stupid to me. But Eric Young, in my opinion, I think is a funny guy. But not only is he a funny on-screen character, he's also, in my opinion, a good in-ring talent. And I don't like what they're doing with Eric Young and how they're having him as the TV champion. And he's every week he's having these backstage segments or whatever where he's in LA and he's trying to get in a movie role and trying to star in movies, and he's beating up actors and stuff. Defending his title against random people. That might be funny, haha, every once in a while, but to do it consistent on every Impact, it becomes stupid after a while, unentertaining, and once again, it takes time from the talent that can be in the ring. You know what I mean? And doing their thing. It takes time away from the younger talent. And like I said, but going back to Eric Young, like I said, Eric Young I think is a good talent, and even before Bischoff and Hogan came in, Eric Young has never been a serious character in TNA. He's always been the guy, who hasn't had the sharpest crayon in the box, if you get what I mean. You know what I mean? Or has all of his cards on the deck. He's always been, the crazy but friendly, stupid kind of like character, and I wish they just really put him in a more serious role. The only time Eric Young had like a serious gimmick to him was back in 2009 when he formed the group, the World Elite, and that was a faction that was consist of a lot of foreigners and minorities within TNA from different countries who came together and to lash back out at the Americans or the American wrestlers. And that was the only serious role Eric Young has ever had. And I'm like, okay, great. Eric Young is serious. He's getting more matches. He's the leader of this faction, World Elite, and now they just completely dropped the ball on that, and they've gone back to having Eric Young as being this crazy psychotic guy, and having them partner up with homosexual guy Orlando Jordan. Now, if TNA has ever made now like I said, I think TNA has made some dumb releases in their day, releasing guys like Jay Lethal, Christopher Daniels, although Christopher Daniels is back on now, but when they screwed him over and released him last year, and a couple of weeks ago Amazing Red, I think those were some good talent that they fired. But Orlando Jordan, I think that's the best thing that's the best talent that they ever could have fired, because Orlando Jordan, to me, watching him wrestle was just very uncomfortable, and it was just eerie, and I'm not going to get into that. But like I said, that's probably the best release TNA has ever done, was when they released Orlando Jordan. So they've done something right, at least. But having Eric Young partner up with Orlando Jordan, having these gay type of buddy friendly relationship, just stupid stuff, and just really in my opinion, I think downgrading Eric Young. So these are just my extra bonus frustrations that I want to point out with that I have with TNA. And let me know what you guys would like me to do, a video related to wrestling that you guys would like me to make. You can send me, you can leave a comment down on this video to let me know, or you can private message me on my YouTube account page. So let me know what kind of video that you guys would be curious or would like me to make, or have any questions or know my opinion about something that's wrestling related. So let me know what you guys think about this video, this bonus video, and then the first video on my frustrations with TNA. Peace.